Monroe County rests at Pennsylvania's northeastern edge. It borders New Jersey and is just one county over from the New York state line. Consequently, the Poconos region sits adjacent to the nation's largest heroin trafficking hub and market, according to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Pennsylvania maintains one of the nation's highest rates of drug overdose deaths annually, consistently in the top 5 in recent years. In 2020, Monroe County far outpaced the state in the category, ranking 3rd among Pennsylvania's 67 counties. Drug abuse is a problem in the area. The region has one of the highest rates of overdose deaths and one of the worst hit states for the U.S. opioid epidemic. Kohberger had his own lengthy battle with drug addiction. Several former friends told the Idaho Statesman. And a couple big losses came along with that addiction. Bryan Kohberger lost 2 friends from his friend group to drugs. From all accounts that we've heard, many people from Kohberger's past remember his considerable weight loss in high school. The dramatic change occurred between his junior and senior years. Kohberger also started kickboxing every day after school and running in the evenings with a neighbor. He also became hyper-focused on what he ate, to the point that he developed an eating disorder that required hospitalization, according to his friend Jack Bayless. His friend Casey Arntz estimated that Kohberger weighed more than 300 pounds, and the amount he lost was as much as half his body mass. And it was so rapid that Kohberger had tummy tuck surgery because he was left with so much excess skin. During the same time period, friends say Kohberger's personality also shifted and he became more aggressive. In high school, Kohberger also started using heroin with classmate Ashley Flugel. Flugel later faced a raft of drug charges in 2017 and 2018, including a felony count of intent to distribute a controlled substance. In May of 2018, before her court appearance, Flugel, 23, died of an accidental drug overdose. However, there is an article in the Pocono Record stating that police were looking for a man who was at her house when she overdosed. And that article read, "State police investigators say they want to question a man who fled from a Monroe County home where a 23-year-old woman died of a drug overdose. On Wednesday morning, Richard T. Shinsky had allegedly been in the home in the 1200 block of Lindsay Lane in Effort, Chestnut Hill Township, where troopers discovered Ashley M. Flugel dead," state police at Fern Ridge said. State police say they were dispatched at 10:32 a.m. Wednesday to the Lindsay Lane home for a report of a woman who was unresponsive from an apparent overdose. When troopers arrived, they found Flugel dead. Suspected packets of heroin, stamped "Party Time" and "Apple," hypodermic needles, and drug paraphernalia, police said. Police say Shinsky had been at the house and fled before troopers arrived. Besides being wanted for questioning in Flugel's death, police said Shinsky is wanted in Lehigh County. Police did not give Shinsky's age or description, and there was no follow-up I could find on this story, except for the fact that Ashley has a brother named Bryan who was jailed also on drug charges and ditched some evidence in his case on that same road where his sister overdosed. And as you can see, his friend Ashley also made quite the transformation in her body. But what else was interesting to note is that his friend Ashley was gay, and she credits her girlfriend in this post for giving her the confidence that she has. When I took a look at Ashley's social media, I noticed that her favorite book is called Burned. I have to wonder if maybe this was the book that Bryan Kohberger could have outlined. We can only imagine the effect that Ashley's death may have had on Bryan Kohberger's psyche. But this wasn't the only death in his friend group from drugs. Jeremy Saba, a neighbor that lived 2 houses down from Kohberger's childhood home, was part of that group and introduced Kohberger to heroin, according to his friends Bayless, Casey, and Thomas Arntz. Saba and Kohberger could be seen together in a photo that Saba posted on Facebook in August 2016, 4 months after Saba was arrested and charged with a DUI and misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. He later pleaded guilty to both charges, according to Pennsylvania court records. And Kohberger's friend Bayless had this to say about Saba. I didn't like him personally because he got my boy into heroin. He also mentioned his falling out with Kohberger for several years over his drug issues.
I think drugs goofed him pretty bad. He was having a time. He'd tell me,
"I'm clean now. I'm totally clean now."
and he'd have bleeding track marks on his arms.
Kohberger had no known criminal record before he was charged with 4 counts of murder and 1 count of felony burglary in the November 13th Moscow homicides. Saba was arrested again in September of 2018 for misdemeanor possession of a controlled substance, pleaded guilty, and received a year probation. In March of 2021, Saba, 27, died of an accidental drug overdose, according to the Monroe County coroner. So hearing from Casey Arntz that after Bryan Kohberger's weight loss, he had weight loss surgery. Could that have been when his opioid addiction began? Was Bryan Kohberger prescribed opioids at some juncture and then fell in with his neighbor, started doing heroin, and then the rest was downhill? Do you think that if Kohberger never did heroin, that he may not be sitting where he is right now? Do you think that that changed him? Because it sounds to me from all accounts of his friends, between that junior and senior year, Bryan Kohberger, his attitude changed and his physical appearance changed. Or do you think it was underlying and it was bound to come out sooner or later? And what about the mysterious or somewhat mysterious death of his friend Ashley? Is it possible that Kohberger could have been at that house as well on the morning that she died? And what happened to Shinsky? Did they ever catch him? Did they ever question him about Ashley's death? I can't find any follow-up. So lots of unanswered questions as far as that goes. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.